Hey y'all, this is a little short video I got of me doing our experiment. And if you haven't seen, I'm leaving the car and heading to my local Food Lion to collect some of the supplies. Just like everything else, if you do not have something, I suggest you go and get it. Now for this specific experiment, I need to get plastic cups. What is it called? Shaving cream, that thing. Yes, shaving cream and blue food dye. I had everything else I needed at my house, which was water, the only other thing I needed. Alright, so I'm just going to let y'all enjoy real quick. Little tidbits. Tidbits, that's the word I wanted, tidbits. Here I just found the plastic cups. Now I highly suggest you guys find some clear cups. The ones I chose were a little opaque and that did make it a little difficult to see the results at the end, but it did the job. Next up, we're coming up with the food dye. I did only use the blue. I kind of used all of it. But the rest, it's like red, yellow, and green. I think I'm going to color some brownies with them, to be honest. And then I just came up with the shaving cream. Now, I don't shave, so that was weird. And so next you're going to take out all of your equipment. For this specific experiment, it calls for 4 clear cups, the shaving cream, of course, and then the blue food dye. It was kind of tricky for me to take out, which is why you see me struggling here. So I highly suggest that you get a trusted adult like your parent or a sibling to help you throughout this experiment. Now right here, following the instructions, I labeled a cup. Now this cup will be used for evaporation. I'm filling it up with cool to room temperature water. And you can get this anywhere. It can be from the tap from your faucet, but I chose to get it from my fridge. And I'm setting this out directly into the sun. Now, when I set this out, it was around 2 o'clock. And I will check back periodically to see how far the water moves from the lines. Next, I'm starting to boil water for the condensation part of the experiment. For this part specifically, especially when you're operating your stove, please get an adult, a trusted adult, to help you operate that. I do not want you to burn yourself. And once again, I'm getting fridge water. But you can use tap. Just any room temperature or cold water will work just as well. This one is specifically for the precipitation part of the experiment, which was the quickest. Alright, so for this one, we are using the shaving cream and the food dye. This is my first take. I did make a mistake when doing this, and that is completely fine. We're going to work through this. Alright, so right now I'm pouring the food dye, which is representing our raindrops, onto the shaving cream, which is supposed to represent our clouds. Now, I did say this was my first take because I did make a mistake. I added too much clouds and not enough raindrops. And in order for the raindrops to fall to to earth, which is your water, it needs to be heavier than your clouds. So I rinsed it out real quickly, and I'm going to try it again. This is 100% okay. Everyone makes mistakes in their experiment, and you just try and try again until you get the results you want. All right, so this time I'm adding a little less clouds and a little more raindrops. All right, I struggled. That's okay too. We all struggle. All right, finally, I just finished off my raindrops. And in this little bit here, we're just going to observe and slowly watch as our shaving cream clouds get too heavy from the coloring, the blue ice coloring raindrops, and slowly drips into the water. All right, as stated before in the instructions guide, this is supposed to represent precipitation, in which liquid from clouds gets way too heavy and fall to the earth. Starting right about now, you could also see that the rate at which the raindrops are falling increases the longer it goes. This is me being excited and I'm juggling the background, but you could totally ignore that. You see the rate of which the raindrops are falling quickens towards the end because the hole has formed in the cloud, allowing it to quote unquote pour. This is why sometimes when it's raining outside, it'll start drizzling and then just downpour. This is a small checkup on our evaporation. This was around an hour after I put it down, and it's slightly lower. And now the water has finished boiling, and we can conduct our condensation project. With a trusted adult, you're going to remove the lid, and you can see just a bit of condensation on the top and our water boiling. Once you remove the top, you could also see our gas. It got excited from the stove heat, and it's steaming. That's also why I'm holding it by the rim. I don't want to burn my hands. That hurts a lot. For the condensation experiment, we are using 2 cups. And I'm about to get some ice cubes because our ice cubes will help us in creating condensation in the top cup. I purposely left the cup full of ice to the right of the cup, showing our condensation experiment, to clearly show the difference in opaqueness being how clear the cup is. Now the cup to the right is full of ice, and ice of course is cold and is cooler than the cup to the left, which is full of boiled water. If you look at the top cup, it is getting cloudier, more cloudy than the cup to the right, which is still cool. This is showing clear condensation. A little more, and it's starting now, and you'll see it more as the video progresses. The ice at the top starts to melt because the contained heat in the cups, which are sealed together because I placed them on top of each other, is heating up the top of the cup, therefore melting the ice. And it dripped on the table, and I had to clean that up. Make sure you guys clean up your workstations when you're done with all of your experiments. We do not want to leave a mess. There we go. It's dripping slowly on the side of the cup. All right. Right here we see the top of our cup before I put on 2 ice cubes and only 1 is left. And we see what looks like water droplets, but it's actually like water vapor that formed and stuck to the top of the cup. Finally, we cut to a shot of our condensation experiment, not condensation, evaporation, it's my bad. Final shot of our evaporation experiment, which is shot around 3 hours later. So this is at 5 o'clock. And our water has significantly, which means it dropped a lot further below the line as before. This is 100% due to the fact that the water I had in the cup was significantly cooler than the heat outside, causing the evaporation to happen quickly. Though how quickly your water will evaporate is 100% dependent on how cold the water is and how hot it is outside. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.